So I haven't made a video in a while, so I guess I probably should. I went to Coventry the other day, was met by a dead pigeon, almost placed like it was someone knew that I just made a post about how I hated pigeons or how I don't like pigeons and I much rather parrots. And if you think pigeons are ugly, that's not being racist, that's literally just saying the facts. Likewise, if you think the migrants that are coming into the country and flooding the place are ugly, it's like saying a pigeon's ugly. I mean, you're just stating a fact. You know, if a lot of these migrants were gorgeous Arab-looking women that you know, like wore nice clothing and looked after themselves and looked like, you know, they were here to, yes, steal our jobs and houses and stuff, but if they made if they were looked nice, they would be here to make the place look nice. Now, if they look ugly and look like they're from a third world country, you know, they look like they're from a third world country and they look like they're going to turn our country into a third world country. And I'm getting more and more racist because of it, but I recognise that there are some very ugly white women too. So I am racist against people who look ugly, and it doesn't have anything to do with the colour of your skin. It's solely a pigeon looks ugly because it's ugly. It doesn't. I don't care if you think that's being racist. I mean, parrots look pretty. I don't give a shit what colour they are. They're all pretty. Like, I don't think I've seen an ugly parrot, but I've seen a few ugly parrots when they lose their feathers. But yeah, parrots without feathers look very, very ugly. But yeah, the fact of the matter is, anyway, and then I went to Coventry. I've been wanting to go there for a while just to see. I also heard that if there is lots of shops closing down, because I heard lots of shops are closing down, I know if there's lots of shops closing down, that means I need to go there. Why? Because I'm very good at getting bargains when shops start closing down. And I got quite a few. Well, I'll show you actually what I bought. Bought a necklace. It was only £1.80, reduced to like £6 or £8 or something. And then I bought that one, which is because I had a pink one and I have no idea where it is. I bought it a couple of months ago, completely lost it. And but when I went there, I saw this. I saw it actually. They had a kind of witchcraft shop almost. They had a witchcraft shop, and I was thinking, I've lost my pink one, so I want to buy another one. But then I noticed the Claire's Accessories around the corner. There was two of them, but both of them were shutting down, and they had a 70% off. I think the second one was 50% off. One shop was 50% off, and one was 60% off. But I thought I'd buy them from there because I got them much cheaper. I'm really impressed with this though. They're only 20p, and I got 4 of these packets. Actually, I might have got 5, but I've eaten one. I've got 4 of these packets now after eating one, and then I bought a nice bag for £6. It's kind of cute. Just about fits my phone in there, but that's pretty. So. Sorry, something popped up. I wasn't sure if it's still recording. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to cheer myself up from what's happening online. It's clear that England is falling apart, and they've got some clowns in the government. And it's interesting how on Halloween I saw 2 good costumes. One was of someone dressed up as that Mr. Sachs police officer woman. Someone was dressed up with like an identical outfit to that. Which was interesting because I was only just talking about it that day. And then I saw someone dressed up as like some sort of clown, which kind of reminds me of the government, because I feel like that it's just a clown government right now. I'm really hoping that that's the truth. I'm really hoping that there aren't genuine people in the government that genuinely think that England's not being overflooded by migrants, and these migrants are if anyone in the government genuinely believes that these migrants are helping our country, you know, at this point you've got to be deaf, dumb, blind and everything, because you know, England was good when there was some multicultural. When you had London being multicultural and the rest of England being good, you know, that was nice. Do you know why? Because a lot of people liked coming to England, coming to London and getting the multicultural vibe, and then travelling to different villages, different towns, and getting a sense of, wow, this is England, this is a nice place to be. You know, I came from a multicultural. Okay, Hampstead is very Jewish, but you know, London itself is very multicultural. And it didn't matter. That didn't matter because it was bringing in a lot of business. It was bringing in a lot of work, a lot of money, and the rest of England was feeding off it. The problem is the rest of England now is full of migrants and Islamic ones as that. To me, the British flag, I guess I didn't really know what the British flag really meant to me because I hadn't really thought about it. So during those pages where I was writing up about what the flags mean to me, I felt like they meant something, but I never really thought about it, to be honest. But now that I've written up those pages, I really do feel like the English flag links to Christ and the takeover of Christianity, the domination of Christianity through war and bloodshed, yes, and the red signifies both blood and war, okay, blood, okay, like Jesus and just like the average person, and the blood that we've shed for, the blood that everyone has shed to spread Christianity, and then it to the British flag, well, it joined nicely with the Scottish flag and the Northern Ireland flag, and it's created a really beautiful pattern. So to me, the British flag means unity, and I've always wondered, like, why is there a dragon on Wales flag? Because that makes no sense to me, but I know why it means. The dragon, there's good and bad and everything. So you've got the good of the dragon kind of represents Lily in China, and it represents destruction, yes, but I believe that Lily is going to come at the end of the timeline. So the timeline's going to be ended. It's going to be at the point when the Earth is literally being destroyed, I believe. I mean, maybe things will change, but right now I think Christ is the first and last, and I was the first, and I'm going to be the last. So that's probably going to be Lily right at the end of the timeline. So yes, the dragon means destruction, but all things have to come to an end. Earth will not last forever. It will die at some point. So yes, it represents destruction, but I think it also represents Lily and China and just the future. I don't know. It could mean good, because the future is going to be better than the past. But I think that the dragon, when it comes to the George's dragon that he slayed and stuff, it represents Islam. It does. I've seen, like, they have like a snake thing, and I saw a video the other day that talked about how the dragon represents Islam, and is the Wales flag is not part of Britain and stuff, so it's been taken out of the flag. So for me, the British flag represents unity without Islam, and yeah, it really does bother me when I'm seeing people take down the British flag and then put up the Palestinian flag, because the Palestinians, like, I didn't really know what it meant. I hadn't really thought about it, but after thinking about it, I do think it means death over life, and the divided spirit that has caused war and bloodshed. And so, but yeah, if you want to, I am noticing though that the Palestine and Palladians kind of look similar. So if you wanted to, like, say that Zion is kind of like the Matrix, but for the Milky Way galaxy, and therefore I don't know how many stars there are in the Milky Way galaxy, but Zion could specifically be about the Galactic Federation, or maybe the Galactic Federation. Like, I haven't really thought about it. I think it's important that when I'm saying this, I'm not saying it because I actually believe it's the truth. I'm saying it more because I'm using my imagination and trying to come up with an idea. When I think of Zion, I think of like a heavenly kingdom. I think of gold and the jewels. What's that, Wizard of Oz land where everything's made of jewels and stuff? I don't know. I think of something like that. When I think of Zion, I don't think of me. Maybe I did before. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it, but when I'm thinking about it now, I think of a heavenly palace. I think there's a whole bunch of people called the Zionists, and I don't know why they're ignoring me. I don't know why they're not helping me. I don't know why they're just acting like I'm not here, and why it's been 12 years, and why they're still just making songs about me, which, okay, I like the song, so I wouldn't tell you to stop, but at the same time, I'm having some weird conversation with them through time and space, and I'm not having a good life. If you wanted me to have a time travel with all these songs, fine, just give me a nice palace and then leave me alone. But if you're not going to do that, then you're actually just pissing me off, and I don't know who the Zionists are, but I feel like they're people who don't care about me. If they cared about me, they wouldn't be putting me through this. They would actually come to my door and start talking to me. They would actually call me up and say, hi, yes, we're watching your videos. They would actually do something, and therefore I think I see the Zionists, the people who see Zion as being something different to me. If I am Zion, you would care about me and not leave me in some disgusting house in some tramp land called Birmingham that's full of Muslims now, and I hate living here. Birmingham used to be nice until 2 years ago. I don't know what the fake COVID virus was, but you've destroyed the economy because of it. Everyone's now poor because of all the money that you just give away to people for free. But I think a lot of people weren't actually like paying tax or something. So I think a lot of people weren't able to claim anything because of tax avoidance or whatever. I don't really know what there might have been good and bad out of that, but I don't know what's happened. But I know that Birmingham has never been the same ever since, and it's just getting worse and worse. And I keep ignoring it. And I feel like I've got an army of supporters now, so I don't feel like I have to keep ignoring Islam right now. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with what, but I know that my health is failing, and there's a few times where the bus, they said the bus is going to be like 20 minutes away, and then I thought, okay, I'll get there 10 minutes early. And as I'm getting there, it turned out that the bus before was actually 10 minutes late, and then ended up running for it. And for that 60 seconds that I ran, I'd be like out of breath for like 10 minutes. So I know my health is definitely failing. I feel tired, exhausted, especially when I'm watching music videos. That's when I feel most tired. And I'm getting headaches a lot. And there was a song that's talked about getting headaches. I don't know. What was that song? There was the song that I listened to that was talking about, it was that Buffy episode, Ford. He was getting headaches, and all the people in the basement were excited about going to become a vampire and stuff, when really they probably weren't. I don't like humans any longer. I really don't. Humans have not treated me nicely, and I just feel like humans are on the side of humans, and therefore that gives me more reason to just be on the side of myself. And I don't know who the Zionists are. I've never really thought about it, but I'm going to do a page about them now. And I would say that the Zionists are people who want to put Zion first, and I would say that Zion is kind of some sort of magical paradise world, the land of the gods, but you could also call it the land of the Zionists, and the Zionists could be star seeds. There's a lot of people who think that they're from another world, but yeah, if there's a group of people calling themselves the Zionists and they're saying that Zionists are actually people from another world, Jared Kushner or something could be one of them. But yeah, if there's a whole bunch of people that starts saying that they believe that they're from Zion, which is another place in the world, in the Milky Way galaxy, and I don't know, if you want to start making that Palestine is actually like the city of the Palladians or something, that also sounds kind of fun. I feel really dizzy all the time, played badminton. I managed to get in some badminton today. I almost missed it. I was posting, what was I posting? Something about Army of Lovers or something. Yeah, I think I might give them an angel name of the Comedians, definitely, because I love the Comedians, definitely. But yeah, that band is so not funny. But there are so many people that just don't understand comedy. There's like, we I don't know, there's some people that making fun of, there's some people that just have no sense of comedy and no sense of jokes, like the Borat type. And a lot of the guys in that Lovers Army kind of remind me of Borat almost. They look English, but yeah, if they actually represent just dummies, Islamic dummies, that take, I don't know, there's going to be a big war coming, but I think it's not going to be that bad if you start just making out that that Palestine is a real place, but it actually is a real place in the Pleiades, which is a star cluster of 8 different stars, but they actually share the same zodiac thing, which is like Zion, only a kind of Palladian version of Zion. So Zion, it could be more for this end of the universe, which is the Milky Way galaxy and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's up to you what you say about it. Personally, if I said anything, I'd just be kind of making something up. So I think there is a matrix, and I think there is an imagination land. But I think I don't want anyone going there because I hate you all right now. And I you need to finish the timeline. You need to get to a point where you can you need to make the world a better place before you can get there. But the only way that can happen is if we get rid of the people that are stupid. And my mum came over as well, and within the first 10 minutes, I was watching the news, and there was that story about that Prince Edward, is it Andrew? No, Prince Andrew, and I was saying I don't want to watch this, so I started fast forwarding it, and then my mum started screaming at me, no, I want to watch this, I want to watch this. Oh, it's about time, and then say, oh, it's about time that he's had his things taken away. Oh, I swear they've said that story so many times. I think BBC really should come up with the most ridiculous storylines ever, and then like test it and get people to watch it. Get a bunch of random people to watch the news and actually see how they respond, and see if there are a bunch of idiots, even if it's just the most ridiculous story ever. See if there's a bunch of idiots that really are like, wow, this news is interesting. Wow, I'm so fascinated. And that's my mum. That's 100% my mum. You can't understand how frustrating it is unless you... I know I've seen that story online. If you're from America, you probably haven't seen that story again and again and again, but we have. And then I'm sure he had his title taken away or whatever. What, he's not allowed to live in... I don't care. I don't know what's going on, but it just feels like bullshit news. And to think that there's a whole bunch of people that are genuinely interested in that story. Like what is going on with the BBC News? What is going on with people like my mum? She's an idiot. She really is an idiot. And anyway,